and things like that. So what are the key marketing materials, and how should I divide my resources or time between all these things?
Yeah, so that's one area where a lot of changes are happening, especially in the last 2 to 3 years, right? We're living in the era of dark social and dark funnels, wherein you're not desperate to get someone's email ID. It content syndication campaigns or creating surveys and reports to just get people's email ID is not a very popular model anymore. Not that it doesn't help. Obviously, you can do a lot of remarketing, add them to a newsletter, maybe keep educating them, and at the end of it, sell to them. Right? That's definitely one. There are ways in which you can actually make it work, but it's not like where you get an email ID and the SDR starts bombarding the person with messages and all that stuff and try to sell immediately. That model isn't relevant anymore. We are living in an era where people seek out information much more, even before they reach out to you, right? If I remember the number correct, according to Gartner, 83% of the time buyers spend researching and understanding a product even before talking to sales. So what this essentially means is that you have to keep serving content to engage your prospects this 83% of the time, right? You can only hook them to through your presentation the remaining 17% of the time. So if you want to do it, you have to consistently show up on platforms where people seek or look for content that are helpful to them, right? And that's not usually email. I mean, you can have a newsletter to educate people, but that's just one part of it. So content is about building trust, it is about building credibility, and once you have that foundation set, trust once you win that trust of your prospects, you want them to come to you rather than you wanting to go to them, right? That's how the entire cycle should work. Given this reality, given this new shift in the way in which buyers look for information, look for products, trying to learn more about them, you got to focus on content which might not be directly always attributable, right? What I mean by that is organic social media, and if you're in the B2B space, LinkedIn is the best place to be in. Blogging and SEO led content, right? Video marketing, and if you have the resources, go for hosting your own podcast, or you can appear on other podcasts like what or how I am doing in your podcast, right? So basically, you're gonna create a web of content that's not very email centric or contact centric or person centric. Rather than you're trying to address a segment of people who would like the problem that your products or services are solving to be solved for their business, right? So you if you were to if I am to list down the content types, I would say SEO led content, plus organic social media. If you have the resources, go for video and podcasting, plus you got to complement this with some credentials, right? Customer stories, for example, whether you create it in the form of a PDF or a customer story video, you need to talk about what you have done for your customers. And there is this whole debate of whether you should gate a case study or ungate it. I've seen both the perspectives, and there are pros and cons to both. But if you really want to sort of increase and enhance your conversion from, let's say, an MQL to an SQL or SQL to opportunity, in short, if you want to generate high intent leads, it's sort of better that you ungate your content so that you only get downloads from people or only get queries from people who are really interested in buying from you, right? Somebody downloading your case study might not have an intent today, right? So it's not an indication of I mean, it is some indication that that might be interest, but it's not an indication of immediate interest, right? So basically, you build trust and credibility using a combination of these content types, and this is where you should initially focus on. And if you have the budget and the resources, you can even think about traveling to events where your prospect buyers are there, or they usually come to, right? And it can be large events, or it can be these mastermind kind of events where there is a gathering of a small number of people. If you have the resources and budget to do it, you can think about that as well. But in terms of pure content creation, like I said, organic social, blog, SEO led content, video and podcasting plus customer success stories are a great place to start.
Yeah.